Can with the win on Sunday night, the question can be asked since Brock Osweiler took over for Peyton Manning. He's gone 2-0. The Denver running games actually showed up, and it's a fair question to ask: can Brock lead the Denver Broncos to the Super Bowl? Rudy, you'll start this one off with you. I was going to start with Rashad, but damn, Rashad.
The Brockweiler cannot lead the Broncos to the Super Bowl. I don't think he would get them out the first round that they played in. Looking at him, he's been effectively ineffective. And what I mean by that is he's sort of been a placeholder. He's done just enough not to give the game away, but he hasn't necessarily won them the games. He did have a good drive at the end of the game against the Patriots, but at the end of the day, he is a placeholder. He don't make him more than what he is. The number 0 is a placeholder. It can't be anything but 0. Brock Osweiler is a replacement. He can't be anything more than a replacement. They will not go to the Super Bowl led by the Brockweiler.
All right, Rashad, what do you think?
I agree 100% with Rudy. He is not an NFL starting quarterback to lead a team to the Super Bowl. If we're going to say he can lead that team to the Super Bowl, we might as well say that Matt Hasselbeck, who's undefeated, can lead the Colts to the Super Bowl. If that's what we're going to do, might as well say that as well. Brock Osweiler would not lead this team to the Super Bowl. Their best chances with Peyton Manning, and even then, it's not a good chance. This team is not a Super Bowl team.
I got some to what you said.
Brock Osweiler is basically Mark Sanchez for the Jets.
Oh my God.
When he made it to the AFC Championship, am I right? Am I right? Didn't that defense?
Oh yeah, true.
But here's the thing: Mark Sanchez was not playing as well as Brock Osweiler is.
He's not playing that well.
I mean,
Brock Osweiler's been playing pretty good.
Brock Osweiler had a 37 QBR this past weekend in that win. Just thought I'd throw that out.
But I'm also saying, but he's also made the.
He's throwing interceptions as well.
He's thrown one interception.
It's still an interception.
Let's keep going.
It's still an interception. It counted. You act like you said, 37 QBR. He didn't throw interception this game, right?
He did throw an
Yeah,
interception.
this is the game he threw the interception in.
I thought he was the one last week as well.
No,
I thought he went 1-1.
He just wasn't very impressive. He just did what he could to not lose the game.
To not lose the game.
He threw 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
I thought it was 2-1 last week.
No,
He was 20 out of 27, threw for 250. He threw 2 touchdowns.
250.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you say the
it's
score of that game.
It was like 17-14.
That's what I'm saying. He did enough to not to win.
He has a 66.7% completion percentage. His passer rating, he has a 101 point.
101 passer rating in that game.
He has a 101.4 passer rating in general for the 2 games. For both games. But Khaled, let me hear what you got to say because let me hear what you got to say.
I don't think he's gonna lead them to the Super Bowl. I think they're gonna be stopped by the Patriots.
They're not even gonna get to the Patriots.
They're not gonna get.
Don't
to
even
the
give them that respect. They're not gonna get to the
Come on, you
Patriots.
ain't gonna do that.
All right, wait. Finish your point. Finish your point,
To the
Khaled.
Brockweiler.
Wait,
Brock,
let
I'll
him
do it
keep
too.
going.
But yeah, I don't think he's gonna be able to play at that level, that high Super Bowl level, Super Bowl playoff level that he needs to.
And who did he play last week? I can't.
It was the
remember.
Bears. Don't get the Bears just beat the Packers a few weeks ago. The Bears aren't a bad team.
The Packers aren't the Packers that we thought they were.
The
They
Bears
are not who we thought they were.
But who do we think anybody is anymore? We thought the Falcons were. It's like this. Another teams.
We never thought the Falcons were
But-
good.
No, but it's like
when they won against the Titans by 3 points, I knew they weren't good.
But it's like the Panthers aren't what we thought they were, and nobody is who we thought they were.
Hold
That's
on,
the
hold
thing.
Hold on, I have to pause this real quick because I have to give Rashad his props. He did call that they were an elite team, and I will acknowledge that I was wrong that they are an elite team because they are not what I thought that they were.
Exactly, but
Thanksgiving game doesn't make them an elite team though because they won because Tony Romo threw 2 pick sixes. And if you look at the score,
But I mean,
the score was 19-13. If you look at it, the score, if you
Rashad,
take
don't
those pick
come
sixes,
on,
take them away.
no.
I mean, the team is great.
Guys,
the team is good.
we're talking about the Broncos. How do we go? Why are we talking about Thanksgiving? That was last week.
He brought up my Cowboys.
Well, I mean, you got to look at it. You can't
brought up the Cowboys.
You can't recede your elite card because they beat the Cowboys.
No.
I mean, it still takes a
That's
defense.
the
It still takes a
11
good
girl.
defense to force turnovers and score turnovers.
Tony Romo to throw
Oh
2
my
pick
God! Not
sixes.
Tony Romo was scared, but when coming into the game,
He's
you
scared.
was picking them. You were saying Tony's gonna torch them.
You're absolutely
They're
right.
not gonna handle his
And-
offense and
and they
everything.
never
And now
those-
Tony Romo was scared, and now
That
the defense ain't elite.
that defensive
Oh
line
my
was
gosh!
incredible and scared him.
Oh my
He didn't want
gosh!
to get
man.
hurt. He didn't have- he got hurt.
Oh my God!
Tony Romo was scared to get hurt. That's what happened. He got hurt.
Tony Nomo.
Rashad is having a seat, but I think the Patriots are gonna go to the Super Bowl. But I just want to play devil's advocate with y'all. I mean, if we talk about Mark Sanchez got to the AFC Championship with a great defense, and we can't compare this to Matt Hasselbeck because he doesn't have that defense.
But he's undefeated.
Matt Hasselbeck, and so is Brock Osweiler. Brock Osweiler is undefeated, and Brock Osweiler has a better team than Matt Hasselbeck. So why is it not so beyond?
I mean, that's showing that Matt Hasselbeck is winning with a bad team.
That's actually in a bad division. No, but I'm saying, but my case
South is now stronger than the NFC East. That's all.
But what I'm trying to say, I'm not comparing it to. I'm saying you brought up Matt Hasselbeck. You said it's like trying to say Matt Hasselbeck. I'm saying the reason why we can't say Matt Hasselbeck is because their team definitely won't beat the Patriots. The team won't beat the Broncos.
But the team did beat the Broncos.
In the playoffs, Rashad. I'm talking about in the playoffs. I'm talking.
They beat them
it's
still.
It's a different. It's the same thing. If you say, it's just like saying.
The only thing that affects is the Seahawks.
Can I finish?
Yeah,
it's just like saying, it's just like when people say, oh, NBA playoff basketball, the Clippers can throw all these lobs in the regular season and stuff, but when you have to play a team in the playoffs, for some reason, all that just changes. It's the same thing when you go into the playoffs in the NFL. Some things might work. The read option worked great for the Redskins in the regular season. The minute they got to the playoffs, the Seahawks shut that down.
Actually,
RG3 did do the.
It did work.
No, RG3
they were going to win that game before.
No, but it wasn't the read option that was helping them win that game. It wasn't the read option. Yeah, RG3's passing was on point, but then he got hurt. So that's the thing. People start watching tape on you from the regular season and start getting hip to how to stop you from the regular season.
The regular season trying to stop you. They just can't.
Yeah, but I'm saying, in the playoffs, you have more clips and everything to watch a team and learn how to stop that team. There's a reason why. The regular season game against the Patriots and Colts came down to it like last year, and then in the playoffs, the Patriots blew them out. They destroyed them. It's playoff football. Playoff football.
The Patriots love playing cat and mouse with teams.
I mean,
they make you think that you have a chance, a la Broncos. So when they play you in the playoffs, they can obliterate you.
Essentially,
you can't necessarily say that. You don't ever know. Any given Sunday, what can happen.
They're gonna crush.
Any given Sunday, anything can happen. But my point is like, why are we sliding this team? If Mark Sanchez led team got to the AFC Championship, I mean, they did lose, but I'm saying they got to the. But Brock Osweiler has played better than them, and he's played better than Mark Sanchez.
Everybody talking about like when Mark Sanchez came to the league, like he was a legend when he came to the league.
No, at USC he was nice. At USC, Mark Sanchez was nice.
Here, and then his first season, and he made it to everybody was like, "Yo, this dude is for real, the truth." And then
y'all are talking about the Sanchez here. You're talking about you're talking about one of the greatest USC quarterbacks to ever come out. So,
but the case in point is the fact Mark Sanchez didn't play that well. Mark Sanchez is notoriously known at this point for the butt fumble. But what carried that team to the AFC Championship was obviously the defense. So
he had good play though. Mark Sanchez was playing
and Brock Osweiler is playing well. That's the thing. He has a one-on-one passer rating.
But I'm saying that he's still going to make it.
But
that's the question. But that's the question. Can they make it to the Super Bowl? That is the.
We already answered it.
I know, but I agree that they will lose to the Patriots. I'm saying, why is it like we're acting like, oh, there's no way. There's no way. It's like there's a chance they could make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, the AFC. What's it called? What do you call it? The dominoes fall in their favor, which happened to a couple of teams recently. I mean, you have it that just so happened last year Carson Palmer got hurt in the NFC. You know, the Seahawks didn't have to go through the Cardinals last year. The Seahawks run into the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs. The Seahawks, you don't have to play, and Cardinals. The Cardinals are arguably. Y'all played the Packers. Oh yeah, they ran into the Panthers. They ran into the Panthers instead of the Cardinals. Yeah, at home. So they instead of playing the Cardinals, they ran into the Packers. My fault. And then there's too many P teams. So think about how the dominoes fall right for you. So imagine if somehow the Broncos, because if they're number 1 or 2. You end up playing, say you play a Pittsburgh Steelers team in the wild, or you play a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers that comes out of the wild card, and they have an injured Big Ben, or you play a Texans team that we all know their quarterback position isn't all that. No,
the best quarterback in the AFC right now. AFC South.
I was honestly about to flip it off. Like I was legit.
I should still flip because that statement's still not accurate.
He's playing a lot better than any other quarterback in the AFC South
because he has DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins, the best quarterback helper in the AFC South.
Yeah, point.
It's the same statement.
Yeah, point. whenever you see a Texans highlight, who is it? DeAndre Hopkins.
He's the
Not
most
this game.
targeted wide
Not this
receiver.
game. He didn't score this game at all.
He's the most targeted wide receiver in the league, though. At
DeAndre
the end
Hopkins
of the
didn't
day.
score this game.
Okay, but
Hey,
at the end of the day,
And
he's the
Brian
most
Hoyer
targeted.
still did.
You cannot score and still have an impact. I've seen games with Todd Gurley,
But
ran
they
for 150
played. They
and have no
played the
touchdowns.
Saints, who don't even put a secondary on the field.
I'm just saying, Bron, like that team right there. That team might be able to actually make a little noise in the playoffs.
Well, that team,
they
that,
might be able to give them.
but I'm saying, but my point is, would that team beat the Broncos?
I think that
No.
team could probably possibly
No,
beat the Broncos.
that's-
Rashad,
Wait,
would you,
wait,
if you had to pick, would you pick that team against the Broncos right now?
with a quarterback.
With the quarterbacks as they stand right now, Brock
Brock
Osweiler. I really don't think Rashad likes the Broncos.
With the, I have no problem with the Broncos, but with the way the Texans are playing right now,
No.
yes.
But you can say the same thing with the way the Broncos are playing right now. Since Brock
They're-
Osweiler took over, they haven't lost, and they
But
actually
they're
have a
winning.
running game. They actually have a running game with Brock in there versus when Peyton Manning was playing. Their running game's been way more productive with Brock
Ronnie
Osweiler
Hillman
versus.
didn't run for 100 yards this week. I can't really
No,
say that's
what's it
good,
called?
man.
C.J. Anderson did.
This week?
Yes.
And who scored? The two touchdowns came from Ronnie Hillman. So
No, no, no.
everything was
C.J.
on
Anderson's the one that scored.
The 48-yard touchdown then was C.J. Anderson.
for the game winning
For the
touchdown.
game-winning touchdown. Was
C.J. Anderson scored 2
Uh-huh.
touchdowns this week. Ronnie
Alright.
Hillman scored 1.
Okay, it was the other way around then.
Yeah.
My fault. Excuse me. The other way around.
Mhm.
But he ran for 100 yards this week. 100 what?
113.
All right.
He
so-
averaged 7 yards a carry.
Sheesh.
Ronnie Hillman averaged 4.
Sheesh.
Hey.
I'm telling you, their team. I'm not trying to throw shade on Peyton Manning or nothing, but their team has performed better with Brock Osweiler back there because teams have to respect that Brock can throw the deep ball, which he has done. That's what he did on the game-winning the lead-giving touchdown drive in the fourth quarter.
The one thing I will say about that is, though, Kubiak's offense also fits Brock Osweiler a lot better than it does Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning
does.
has no mobility at all, and Kubiak likes to run a lot of naked boots and play-action type passes that Peyton Manning isn't accustomed to. But if you just let Peyton Manning roll out there and make his checks, Omaha hot sauce and all that, and do his thing, he can tear a defense apart. What I'm saying is, from Brock Osweiler, I'm not saying that. Like, we have a very small sample size to be saying that he could take a team to the Super Bowl. He played against the Bears. Even though they beat the Packers, we do have to acknowledge this is not the Bears defense that used to have Brian Urlacher and Peanut Tillman on it. This is a horrible version of the Bears defense. Then you play against a very injured Patriots team where the running backs did a lot of the heavy lifting. You just listed off that running backs accounted for 3 touchdowns. Peyton Manning didn't get any of that when he was playing, when he was starting for the Broncos. So I think we have a very small sample size. I think
Mhm.
Brock has done a serviceable job as a step in.
Mhm.
But by the time you get to the playoffs and teams have got time to watch film on what Brock is good at and what he's not, they'll capitalize on that and they will expose him. So I don't think that they have a very good chance of making it to the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
I think they ran into the Patriots. I mean, the Patriots going, and the Patriots are healthy.
They're
That
gonna
the
blow them
Patriots,
away.
even if the Patriots just have Julian Edelman or Danny Amendola, I mean, they have to have Rob
They're
Gronkowski.
gonna get
Yeah,
They,
they're
they
gonna
have
get
to have
back.
Rob Gronkowski in order for anything to work. But if they just have one of Edelman or Amendola, I mean, I don't see who's going to beat the Patriots,
I mean,
honestly.
but
But the
see-
Patriots
but
need to
see-
get back Dante Hightower and Jamie Collins and them because their
Oh, yeah, their
defense.
defense.
The minute Dante Hightower went out, they couldn't. Their defense was like it was just in shambles.
Couldn't
But
stop a run.
what are you going to say, Rashad? We got
But
to
yeah, like,
go to the.
like you said, the Broncos defense is a really good defense, right? But I feel like that's a team that actually complete. If you have a Julian Edelman or Danny Amendola in there, the Broncos defense is a team that can actually, keep up with those players. So yeah, having them back will help. But against that I think more so comes to Tom Brady, comes to Brock Osweiler, who has the better
but
game.
yeah,
I mean, that's the reason. That's the only reason why we're picking the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's the only reason why anybody ever thought the Patriots were going to go undefeated because they got 12. I mean, that's the only thing
you
that
gotta
gives the
think about
Patriots the edge over everybody's because they got 12. And I mean, the minute 12 ever went out, it's over.
I'm saying,
It's
but-
over. I'm
but-
bringing Ryan
But
Garoppolo.
I'm saying it's also possible that Brock Osweiler has a
His
better
name's
game
not
at that one game.
Oh,
But I'm saying, but I mean, we're all pretty much choosing the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
in the
Yeah.
AFC.
Who?
I mean,
who's
he always gotta be that
who's
one
going
guy.
to the Super Bowl? Rashad?
anybody but the Patriots.
That's not specific. I
Let's-
need a name.
let's-
I need a
I
name.
think-
No, I need a
I
name.
think
I
the
need a
Bengals-
name.
I think the Bengals has a chance.
Okay.
Get out.
I
No.
think.
Wait, no, we can't go into